When I was a magician for 15 years of my life, being fooled by a magic trick becomes less and less and less the case. You start to learn new techniques, you read a lot of books, you meet a lot of people, you go to conventions, and you gain this wealth of knowledge where when you watch someone perform something, you kind of just know how it works. You can see the moves, you know the techniques, you know the different things that are happening, and you can see it laid out in front of you. That moment of astonishment where you just feel nothing but wonder and, wow, what the heck did I just see that fooled me completely? That diminishes significantly. I feel like the same thing kind of happens with photography. We're spoiled with these incredible digital cameras and massive sensors, incredible low light technology in it, and it's great and it's amazing. But we've become so accustomed to that it doesn't really faze you. When a new camera's released or announced, it could say it's 12K video, and you'd be like, oh cool, that's a lot of K. A bigger sensor, better in low light, etc. We've seen all of these things at this point, so it's nothing new under the sun, just improvements. But sometimes something comes along that you haven't seen, and it reignites that, what we would call in magic, that moment of astonishment, where you feel that childlike wonder again inside, looking at something you've never seen, thinking to yourself, wow, I've never seen a camera like this. Is this all your film cameras?
These are the ones that I actually don't use that often, hence the dust. This one I love because I think it's one of the most beautiful form factors. That's how you turn it on. To turn it off, you push down, like physically push down the flash and then close it. It's it's just beautiful.
I know.
The trouble is this shoots on 28mm film.
Oh, that's smooth.
Yeah, and now push down so the whole thing, it's also made out of titanium, and it's just beautiful. But
it would feel good in your pocket, too.
It feels good in your pocket, like it feels, everything about it's great. The trouble is they stopped making 28mm.
Yeah.
They call it like Advantix. This is what it looks like.
Oh my gosh.
This is what it looks like in the box. But
so you can still shoot those 3?
Except for that's 20 years old. My only beef with this, it doesn't say the date. There's no way to burn the date on. There's a timelessness about 35mm photos. What better way to capture that timelessness than by burning the time in? So this is the same model, Fuji Tiara, and it burns the date in.
What's the favorite one? If you can only grab one camera.
Here. For me, like this is my whole 20s were captured on this camera. This very specific lens is like the best lens that I think that Olympus has ever shipped. It's a 2.8 lens, fixed lens, no zoom. It's very tough, it's water resistant.
And you've said yourself that you've been shooting film more recently, all summer you were shooting.
Yeah, I only take pictures of my family on film.
That's it.
I just think we're one nuclear, Russian, or Chinese EMP nuke attack away from having all of our iCloud memory.
Yeah.
Just zapped.
Someone told me that once, they're like, yo, you don't own your own iCloud. It could be gone in moments.
It's all of my photos from the early 2000s, all of those photos are on these hard drives back here. Some of these drives are totally fried, so I can't access those photos. But my great-grandfather's photos from the 1920s, I can still pick up and physically look at.
And your kids can look at them.
And my kids can look at them. So that is the timelessness. These are some of my photo albums, and these are all, this is 2006, this is 18 years old. And there's no air leak, and each one of the photos is so well preserved in there.
Perfect. And it's just instantly accessed. You just you can call back a memory, Arizona, Costa Rica, open it up, find the exact photo.
And they're forever. It's the reason why cell phone photos look so good is because they're sweetening the picture before you even see the preview of it. It makes my grandmother, when she takes pictures of the grandkids, be they look great. But what is the opposite of that? Celluloid is just you're getting what you get, and that's it.
Yep.
And there's a truth in that I come to value more and more as everything becomes digital and so perfectly inhuman.
That's been the last year for me, is that whole journey of analog everything.
Yeah.
And I've just it brought me back from the edge where just everything digital just got so tiring and repetitive. And then shooting film, I shot weddings in film way back in the day, not for very long, but then this whole year on film just made all the difference.
Yeah, it's the only way.
This video is brought to you by Artlist. Think of Artlist like a hardware store for content creators, where you can go there and get everything you need to finish whatever project it is that you're working on. So if you need music, you can grab it there. If you need sound effects, titles for your videos, or motion graphics, all of those things you can grab there. Plugins for the software you're using to create the content, you can grab there. An all-in-one platform that has hundreds of thousands of assets at your disposal. That is very, very helpful when you're making videos, when you're making anything, when you're making content on the internet. Like, for example, the music in this video. I want the intro to have more intrigue and be more mysterious than the actual footage of New York that I want to be a bit more upbeat. Those things are very easy to find and plug into your content and be on your way within minutes. You're not wasting hours here. They've got subscription plans for any creator, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to pay a ton of money and get a bunch of things you'll probably never use, or pay a little bit and not have access to all the things that you actually want. They've got a music and sound effects subscription, a footage and templates subscription, a max and business plans. You've all heard of brands like Monday.com or Expedia. They all use Artlist to elevate their content. And those are massive, massive companies. Those subscriptions I just listed start as low as $9.99 a month and work their way up from there, tailored specifically to you. So if you use the link in the description below, you'll get 2 months free of this. And I recommend you try it out at least, because it is very, very helpful. If you're making stuff for the internet, chances are you're going to need something from a website and service like Artlist at some point in that process. So thank you again to Artlist for sponsoring this video. Hit the link in the description and be prepared to have your mind blown by what I'm going to show you next. Tell me about this camera.
So this is the McKinnon Wide Lux. So it's a panoramic camera. It's older, they were made in the 80s.
And this is the one Jeff Bridges uses.
Yes. I saw a photo reel of some of his stuff that he did, and I was like, wait, those look so cool. And they put you just right in the moment. So this thing, when you wind it, the turret rotates.
That is so cool.
And then it only has a couple settings, so aperture, shutter speed. Whenever you want to click it, you just get your frame.
Oh, what? Dude, that is so sick. I didn't know it was that fast.
So that's the fastest shutter speed, which is that'll probably come out a little dark in here. It's best for
Oh, you just exposed that.
Yeah. So this is the slowest one.
Oh, that's spooky for sure.
But it's still it doesn't wobble too much, which is good. The main thing about this camera is that you have to hold it like this. If you hold it like this, it'll get your fingers inside of it. Oh. Look through the viewfinder here, because you can see how wide it is.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yo, this just gives you a whole new perspective on everything. Wait, what kind of film does it take?
35. Just
really?
Normal. Yeah. So 36 exposures will get you 21 instead of 36, because it's 1.5.
Do you like shooting film more than shooting digital photos?
I like the colors of it, and I also like the intention behind it.
Yeah.
I'll shoot iPhone all day, just oh,
yeah, whatever.
Peter's here,
don't
sure,
care.
whatever.
Yeah.
But that, I get in such a different headspace where I'm all right, let's get you here, let's move this light, and then take the picture.
You care about it more.
I care about it, and it leads to a better image in that way.
Yeah.
I feel like.
It's so wild that I just happened to meet you. You happen to have this camera, and literally a week ago, someone was showing me all of Jeff Bridges. I found his book on eBay. I bought it.
Crazy.
It's inscribed by him, so that's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
I haven't even got it yet. And then you walk downstairs into Casey's office with a Wide Lux. I'm like, what? Cool. Can I shoot one?
Yeah, sure. You want a full New York City photo?
Just go out the window.
If you lean out this way.
3, 2, 1. That's it?
That's it.
Is that fast?
That's that fast.
Oh my gosh. That's so sick. I 100% am buying one of those. I'm going on eBay in 20 minutes. So in my hands is the Wide Lux F8, made in Japan from a company called McKinnon. Yes, that's actually what it's called. I've never seen a camera with a lens that rotates fully mechanically. There are no batteries in this camera, which is absolutely amazing. On top, you have minimal settings. The aperture dial has a small little nub that you use to turn the wheel. It lines up to the smallest red dot on the outer rim. 3 options for the shutter speed: 15th of a second, 1/25 of a second, and 250. Each of those speeds turn the turret at a different speed. The knob here winds the film back through the rollers. This side cranks the shutter, effectively loading the turret so it's ready to spin. Your shutter release, and on top, a level bubble. On top of the turret, you've got 2 arrows pointing left and right. That's your field of view. Noting those arrows while making sure it's level is your best bet. Make sure to keep your fingers clear. Once the release is pressed, the turret turns, capturing everything in its field of view. I've never seen a camera like this, and it fires things inside your creative brain that you cannot explain. Jordan, thank you for showing me this camera. Alex, thank you for recommending Jeff Bridges' book. I cannot wait to start shooting with my new old Wide Lux. I would encourage anyone out there to continue trying to seek that moment of astonishment, being whatever industry that you're in, because it's rare, but when you find it, it's like nothing else.